I'll just hand it over to you, Chitra.
Thank you. And Karen, you have my PowerPoint slides, don't you?
Yes.
All right, so great. Before I get into the details, let me just tell you a little bit about the office and where we are right now. I came to UB 9 years ago, and at that time, there was an Office of Research Advancement. Actually, Dean Wataki had really started and founded that office. It was a small group, and their primary focus was to really help faculty with large-scale proposals. So when I came, my first priority was to really expand that to say that we'd not just look at large proposals, we would help any faculty with any size proposal. And so the first priority for me was to really expand the office in terms of its scope. But then as time went on, I began to, so the immediate impact was very obvious. More proposals were going out of UB, but I didn't see a significant increase in the success rates. So I then decided, all right, I looked at the proposals and I said, I really think it would be very helpful to have some good scientific editing services added to this office. So I built another group. I hired a whole group of people who are really very good in editing and improving the proposal. So then I found that there were still things that we would look at proposals that we knew would have a better shot if only there were some other things done to it that could really improve presentation. So over time, I've added other people and other capabilities who can do things like graphics, people who can help with data management plans, people who can help draft the non-technical sections of proposals, such as mentoring plans and student mentoring and DEI plans. So the office has grown over the last 9 years in response to what we felt was needed in order to make it easier for faculty to write proposals and submit them, and to improve the quality so that they know that there are better chances of getting funded for the same given idea and the faculty's resume. So that's really how we have built this office. I'm going to talk to you a little bit now about how we are structured and the kind of services that we offer. Karen, do I get to move the slides, or how does this?
Oh, I can just let me know and I'll.
Okay, so let's start with the next one, which really tells you a little bit about what our mission is. So our job is very simple. We have one North Star, one goal, and that is our job is to help you get external funding. So we help faculty across the entire campus. It doesn't matter which department you're in or what discipline you work in. It doesn't matter how big or small your proposal is. We will help support anyone who comes to us with proposals that go to federal and or state funding agencies. So we have divided our work in 3 groups. First of all, we want to make it easier for you to submit proposals. We want to help you actually write proposals. And what does that even mean? Too often faculty tell us that they are rushed in writing a proposal because they're not able to carve out the time and really get to it. So we have started a set of new program called Proposal Writing Series, which is a very hands-on program. I'll tell you a little more about it. And as I just mentioned, our job is to help you improve the quality of your proposal so that you have greater success. Next. So what does it mean to make it easier for you to submit proposals? So we will help understand what that proposal package requires. What does that solicitation require? We will develop a very thorough checklist for you. We will help coordinate with other partnering institutions, whether they are within UB or outside. We will help with all your supplemental documents. We will collect letters of support and all the pieces that go into your proposal package. Now, if you're writing a proposal such as an R01 where you are writing for a small group of faculty, and this may not be very particularly valuable, but if you're working in a larger group with organizations outside of UB, with partnering academic institutions who are outside of UB, then it really is helpful that someone else is there to chase after and get all the supplemental documents, the resumes, help draft and coordinate a facilities-related document. So it really helps a lot when we are really ready, when you have a bigger team. You just heard about Click. We can help and remind you to start the internal routing process. Sometimes that gets stuck in various offices, and we help keep an eye on it to make sure that things move smoothly along. So our focus here is to say, just focus on the scientific intellectual part of the proposal. We will do everything else to the extent that is possible so that you can stay focused on the part that only you can do, and we can make it easier for you to write and to submit the proposal. Karen, next. Yes, as I mentioned to you, faculty have said to us that it is really, they understand what it takes to write a proposal, but they find it very hard to actually bring that onto a paper. So every year we do a very detailed workshop where we bring a very good person from outside who does these workshops, a day-long workshop on writing a proposal. And everyone who attends that says it is so good, it is so fantastic. And the reviews of that program are truly outstandingly very, very positive. And then we survey them, the faculty who attend that workshop, about 6 months and a year later, and we ask them, well, have you submitted any proposals? And did you use any of the ideas from the workshop? And have you changed how you write the proposal? And I was shocked to find that not even 10% of the faculty would say, yeah, I really used something from that program, and I've really changed how I write proposals. So what we decided was, yes, faculty understand what it takes to write a very good proposal, but there is a big gap and effort and a big hurdle in really taking that ideas and that knowledge that you know is important for writing a good proposal and actually putting it on paper. So we have started what we call a proposal writing series. These are typically 6 to 8 weeks, small groups, faculty who are aiming for a particular deadline, and we meet on a weekly basis. And the idea is to give you some protected time, so about 90-minute slots, these are 90 minutes. And we go through each section of the proposal. We will start with the 3 aims. We will explain to you and remind you what needs to be in it to be very effective. Then you get a little bit of time at these sessions to actually write and draft it. And then our editors will then look at it and give it back to you ahead of the next section. So it is an iterative process. And by the time the 8 weeks are done, you will have a draft of that proposal done. And so it gives you some time. It protects your time. It's a buddy system where you're sitting there with a few other people, and you have editors who are paddling along with you and making sure that you actually get that proposal written. You'd be surprised how many faculty take us up on this, and we have right now a writing series already happening for the October deadline. But I am really surprised by how many faculty find this to be very valuable. Next, Karen. Yes, as I mentioned to you, we now have a very good scientific editing team. We do all kinds and levels of editing. Of course, at a minimum, we will make sure that it is grammatically correct, it is cleaned up, it reads with one voice if you have multiple authors on that proposal. But more importantly, we make sure that your proposal is responsive to the review criteria for that solicitation. Too often, people meander away from what that solicitation wants. So we keep in mind how that proposal will be reviewed, and we make sure that we give you comments and feedback for that. If you are revising and resubmitting, we will work with you in designing a strategy on how best to respond to those comments, and we will help incorporate those reviewer comments into the draft proposals before you actually submit that to the agency. Next. The compliance part of the editing makes sure, of course, that we are responsive to all the requirements of the solicitation. So we work with funding agencies across every federal agency, and every agency is different. And so when faculty who are used to writing to NIH suddenly write to NSF or to DOE or other agencies, the rules are very different, and we make sure that you are actually, everything is really compliant with what that solicitation requires. And as I mentioned, very often there's a cut and paste in getting the draft written, and we make sure that it reads smoothly and it reads with one voice. Next. This is a new service that we started late last year based on a request that came from the Graduate School of Education. It's called Developmental Editing, where it was a group of faculty who were writing a $10 million proposal, which, by the way, did get funded. And one of the editors actually attends all the meetings and works with the PI team and keeps the proposal writing on track based on the discussions that actually take place. So one of the ORA editors will be part of the proposal team and help with the actual writing. In other words, the picture that we have is we paddle along with the team and make sure that the writing is actually taking place in response to the discussions that happen with the entire proposal team. Next. Yes, I was asked to be on a red review team for a $100 million proposal that went out from Chicago and Northwestern. This was about 2 years ago. And I was just amazed at the quality of that proposal. I mean, that was supposed to be a draft. It was literally beautiful. So after I looked at that proposal, I said, oh my gosh, this is what we are competing against. So I've access now to a graphics consultant who can actually do pictures for you, whether they are a depiction of what your project is about, whether you need org charts, timelines, any of those things that need a visual that helps illustrate what you're writing. We have someone who can do that for you. And we have a process where he will meet with you, try to understand what it is you're trying to do, then provide a draft, and then you can work with him in getting it exactly the way you want it. We also have a proposal writer right now. She can help with the non-technical parts of the proposal, such as management plans, project evaluation, societal impacts, DEI plans, all the things that are outside of the technical part of the proposal. She can draft sections for you to look at and work with you to make sure that you get those sections written as well and as innovatively as the scientific and technical parts of the proposal. Next. Yes, if you are, we have worked with several faculty groups who are working on P level grants, P10, P30, P40. We are even looking at someone who's going to write a P50. In fact, my next meeting is with the group of faculty who are going to write a P level grant. Those are large and have a big team. It is complex. There are many pieces to it, and we help bring all of that together. We actually help build a team. So very often faculty would ask for someone with certain specialization that may not be someone they know about. So we help identify faculty who could join the team. And then, of course, we help coordinate any of the earlier conversations before the actual writing of the proposal happens. So if the faculty team wish to meet on a weekly basis to put that proposal team together to get the initial ideation done, we will help set those meetings, coordinate them, take notes, have follow-up. So we do all of that work. And then once the proposal writing starts, all of that other stuff that I talked about earlier will kick in. Right now, we are working on a $20 million proposal to NSF that's due on September 30th. And we will be working on 3 additional very large-scale $30 million proposals that are going to NSF on November 20th. So we have a lot of experience in working with large-scale proposals. We do external review team. We do mock reviews of proposals. We make it very easy for the faculty team to write large-scale proposals so that they can focus on the technical and scientific part and leave the rest of the work for us to take care of. Next. So to summarize, the goal of NSF, the goal of ORA, is to help faculty at UB at every stage of their career. We give especially very high priority and importance to early career faculty. My philosophy is, if we can get the new faculty funded within the first few years of being here, they're off to a great start. And we know they may not even need us for a while. And then when they are ready to write larger proposals and help, we are here to help cultivate that leadership role that faculty may be interested in pursuing. And of course, if you are now a senior faculty and wish to write large proposals and complex proposals, we can help you with those as well. So we look at a faculty member spanning the entire lifetime career at UB, and we are here to help you at any stage and at any point of your career. And last slide. So how can we help you? All the services that I've described were designed, developed, and created in response to what faculty wanted. Is there anything here that we miss that you would like us to cultivate and develop? Do let me know. If you're interested in joining large-scale proposals, please let me know. We are always looking to go beyond to other disciplines. We are now working on a large-scale proposal to NSF, which is due at the end of the month. It is really being led. It is an NSF proposal, but really being led by a faculty member in the health sciences. There are faculty from social work, and there are a large number of faculty who would normally not write proposals to NSF who are part of our team. I also represent UB on a SUNY-wide committee that really is all about associate vice presidents for research. There are a lot of collaborative work that happens across SUNY campuses. If you are interested in any of those or want to learn about any of those, please let me know. We're always happy to include new faces and new people in those collaborative work. Thank you.
So Chitra, do you have time to take one question?
Sure.
So somebody that's participating is interested in finding out where and when and how they would get information about your writing series.
Okay, if you can go to the next slide, that is our address. This is the place to, you can ask any question at this email address, but if not, just write me an email and I will make sure that you get the answer that you need.